In an ancient museum in England, there is a clock with a golden frame and an engraved face that has been the subject of many legends. This clock, created in the 18th century, is said to have once belonged to an English aristocrat. But the strange thing about this clock is its mysterious and terrifying power. It predicts the time of its owner's death. According to historical records, the first victim of this clock was a wealthy duke named Edward Ashton. It is said that he bought the clock from an antique market, and from the moment he touched it, the hands of the clock began to spin for no apparent reason. Eventually, the clock stopped at a specific time, 2:37 a.m. Edward ignored this and thought it was a mechanical malfunction, but exactly at that time the next night, he passed away in his sleep. After him, several others who tried the clock met a similar fate. Every time someone held the clock, the hands would move and then stop after a few seconds. Whoever the clock showed the time of death for would lose their life at that very moment. One of the deadliest recorded incidents related to this clock involved a young researcher who was attempting to investigate the phenomenon. He, who didn't believe in the supernatural, decided to take the clock and see if the claim was true. After a few seconds, the hands started moving and stopped at 4:44 p.m. The researcher laughed and said, "Well, let's see how accurate this clock can be." But that very day, while crossing the street, he was struck by a speeding car. His time of death, 4:44 p.m. The clock is now kept in a glass case at a museum in London. Many visitors report feeling an intense chill and heaviness when they get close to it. Some even claim to hear the ticking of the clock, even when its hands are completely still. Can this clock really predict the future, or is it just a coincidence? If you're interested in these strange yet real stories,